My daughter ran to me crying, "Mommy, why is Daddy kissing Aunt Lisa?" I checked the doorbell camera, and there it was. I knelt down, hugged her, and said, "Sweetheart, we're going on a very special trip." We left that night. When he came home, my daughter burst into my office so fast she almost slid on the hardwood. "Mommy," she sobbed, grabbing my arm with both hands, "why is Daddy kissing Aunt Lisa?" For a second, I honestly thought I'd misheard her. There was glitter stuck to her cheek from the TikTok craft we'd filmed earlier. Her little chest was heaving. She's 7. She still sleeps with a stuffed llama. She does not make up something like that. My fingers went cold. "What do you mean, baby?" My voice came out way too calm. I could hear it. She pointed down the hall with a shaking hand. "On the door thing, the camera. I saw it. They were on the porch, and he said not to tell you." My throat closed. The doorbell camera. I walked out of my office like I was wading through concrete. My phone was on the entry table where I'd left it charging. I opened the app with muscle memory. It took maybe 4 seconds, but it felt like an hour. Front door. 4:17 p.m. Motion detected. I tapped the clip. There he was, my husband, Josh. Standing on our porch in the hoodie I bought him last Christmas, laughing at something off-screen. Then Lisa stepped into view, brushing hair out of her face like she was in a movie instead of my life. My daughter's aunt. A woman I trusted. My business manager for the family brand. The woman I'd paid thousands to help us scale. He leaned down like he was going to whisper something. He kissed her. Not a peck. Not some weird cheek miss. Full on the mouth like he'd done it 100 times. I watched myself walk past in the reflection of the glass, holding my daughter's backpack as we left for dance class just an hour earlier, completely unaware that 10 minutes after we pulled out of the driveway, my husband and she decided my porch was a place to practice betrayal. On the video, Lisa glanced at the door like she knew exactly where the camera was. "Relax," I saw her mouth. "She never checks these. And if Lily sees, she won't say anything. She loves us." My daughter was standing next to me now, staring at the same screen. "She told me not to tell you," she whispered. "She said it would ruin Daddy's surprise for you." I hit pause. The house was so quiet I could hear the fridge humming. I knelt down, pulled my daughter into my arms, and felt her damp face press into my neck. "Sweetheart," I said, and my voice finally shook. "We're going on a very special trip." We left that night. I'm Brianna. I'm 32. We live, or lived, I guess, in Dallas. I make a living off the internet. Influencer, content creator, whatever word makes you roll your eyes. That's me. I started out posting thrift flips from our tiny apartment bathroom at 2 a.m. between nursing sessions, between client calls. My first brand deal was $150 and a pair of leggings that pilled in 2 washes. Last year, my brand brought in just under $400,000. On paper, we looked like the dream. I had the aesthetic kitchen, the white SUV, the capsule wardrobe in curated neutral tones. My videos hit 2 to 3 million views on a good week. Strangers told me they wished they had my life. Behind the scenes, there were 3 things no one saw. My husband hadn't had a real job in 3 years. His entire family treated my income like a community chest. My daughter was always second place in a family she was supposed to feel safe in. When my channel first took off, Josh suggested quitting his sales job to come on board. "We'll be a team," he said. "Family brand. We'll get more deals if it's all of us." I agreed. I was exhausted. I needed help with emails, contracts, the constant churn of content. He promised he'd take over the boring stuff, invoices, taxes, negotiations. I kept filming. He handled the money, except he didn't just handle ours. The first time I paid one of his parents' bills, it was just this once. Their AC had gone out in August, Texas August. His mother called me crying. I had the money sitting in my business account. "Of course," I said. "Just send the invoice." $1,800. I transferred it without thinking. Then his dad's truck payment for a couple months when he got laid off. Then $5,000 toward Lisa's credit card because interest is killing her. then $12,000 for a down payment on Josh's parents' dream of converting their garage into a little Airbnb, which, spoiler, still doesn't exist. It added up fast. I didn't keep an exact spreadsheet of how much of my business went directly into their lives, but if I had to guess, somewhere around $60,000 to $70,000 over 3 years. Not counting the trips. Oh, the trips. Disney last summer? My brand partnership covered the tickets. The beach house content retreat that just happened to include his entire family? I paid the rental, the gas, the groceries. We framed it as showing followers how to do family vacation on a budget. No one saw the receipts. Every time I hesitated, there was this chorus. We're a team. Family helps family. You're blessed, Bree. Don't you want to share that? I told myself it was love, that it felt good to finally be the one who could make things easier. Growing up, my own parents struggled. We never went on vacation. We never had anyone swoop in and save the day with a wire transfer. I wanted to be that person for the people I loved. The problem was, they didn't just take the money. They took my daughter for granted, too. Little things at first. At Christmas, his parents went overboard for Lisa's kids. iPads, bikes, a massive dollhouse. Lily got 3 outfits and a coloring book. It's not about the gifts, I told myself. It's about being together. Except it was never about being together when it came to her. They'd post family grandkids photos and forget to include the one where she was in frame. They'd buy matching cousin shirts in every size except hers, by accident. Lisa would refer to her in my comments as Bree's little content buddy, like she was a prop, not a person. I told myself it was unintentional, that they'd adjust. I swallowed every small hurt. Every time Lily's art got put on the side of the fridge while Lisa's kids' scribbles were front and center. Every time Josh shrugged when I mentioned it. You're too sensitive, he'd say. They adore her. Stop looking for problems. So I stopped looking. Until my daughter came to me crying about the doorbell camera. We didn't pack much. Her backpack with the llama and 2 t-shirts. My laptop bag with my camera and external drives. 1 carry-on with enough clothes to get us through a week somewhere else. I moved quietly. Josh was supposedly helping his dad with the rental for the evening. Lisa had texted that she was crashing with a friend. I knew that from the family group chat dinging in the background while I folded leggings and stuffed them into a suitcase on the bed. I didn't answer anything. Lily sat at my vanity stool, swinging her legs, hugging her stuffed llama like a life vest. "Are we in trouble?" she asked once, so small I almost missed it. I zipped the suitcase and forced myself to look at her. "No, baby, we are not in trouble. We are going on a trip just for us." "Like the cabin in your videos?" she asked. "With hot chocolate?" "Yeah," I said, "exactly like that." I booked a last-minute Airbnb on my phone. Tiny house, 20 minutes away, 2 nights minimum. Enough space to breathe, enough time to think. While she watched a cartoon on the couch, I opened my laptop at the kitchen island and finally did the thing I'd been avoiding for 3 years. I pulled up our business accounts. Technically, the LLC was in my name. Brianna Lane Media, LLC. But somehow, in the day-to-day chaos, I'd let Josh talk me into letting everything run through one main business checking account he had full access to. "I'll handle it," he'd said. "You should be focusing on content." That night, I saw every automatic payment, every transfer, every loan to someone with his last name. $500 on the first of every month to Dad Utilities, $250 twice a month to Lisa, groceries, $300 every Friday to Parents Gas, MISC, and the big one, a pending $15,000 wire scheduled for Monday to J&L Family Rentals, LLC for the lake house deposit, the one we'd promised his parents for the content house we were supposedly going to shoot in all summer. My brand partnerships were paying for that. My work, my time, my face, my kid's face. And he was on my porch kissing her like I was the extra in their story. That was the moment it clicked. This wasn't just about a kiss. It wasn't even just about cheating. It was about what my success had turned me into for them. A wallet with a ring light. A bank account with feelings they didn't respect. I could hear my manager, Cassie, in my head from a conversation months ago. "Please separate your personal and business finances," she'd begged over Zoom. "Bree, you are way too exposed. You've got no firewall." I'd laughed it off. "We're married. It's fine. He's good with numbers." Now I saw the truth. He was good with numbers when they benefited everyone but me. I stared at the screen for a long time, feeling that familiar tightness in my chest, that urge to minimize, to say maybe there was some explanation. Maybe it was a weird greeting. Maybe I should wait until he came home to ask. But then I looked at Lily's tablet sitting on the coffee table, opened to the paused frame of the doorbell footage. Her little voice replayed in my head. She told me not to tell you. This wasn't an accident. This was calculated. They knew exactly who they were willing to hurt to keep their secret. My daughter. That was my last straw. I called the bank. By the time the Uber pulled up to take us to the tiny house, Brianna Lane Media, LLC had a brand new business checking account. Sole signer. Me. The old account was locked pending investigation of unauthorized transfers. The scheduled $15,000 wire was canceled. Every card associated with Josh's name was deactivated. Cassie texted me 15 minutes later. Cassie, 8:03 p.m. Got your email. Switching all brand payments to the new account now. Are you okay? I stared at the bubble where she was typing, then deleting, typing again. I typed back, "Lily and I are safe. I'll explain later." For now, no one but you gets the new routing number. Then I put my phone in airplane mode, grabbed the suitcase, and walked out the door with my daughter's hand in mine. We drove away while the house cameras watched us leave. When he came home, I saw it on replay. The tiny house was smaller than my old office. Pine walls, a little loft bed for Lily, a pull-out couch for me. She fell asleep with her head on my stomach, fingers tangled in my t-shirt, like she was afraid I'd disappear if she let go. Once her breathing softened, I quietly reached for my phone and turned airplane mode off. It lit up like it had been waiting to explode. 23 missed calls from Josh, 8 from his mom, 4 from Lisa. Family group chat blowing up with, "Where are you? Is this a PR stunt? Call us right now." Then the doorbell notifications popped up. Front door, 9:21 p.m., motion detected. I tapped it. Josh walked up the driveway, scrolling his own phone, smirking at something. He always smirked when brand payments hit. It was his "we're good" face. He opened the front door, stopped. I knew what he was seeing. The empty coat hooks, Lily's glitter unicorn backpack gone, my filming equipment from the living room shelves missing. He set his keys on the table out of habit, then noticed the envelope I'd propped against the fruit bowl. He opened it. I couldn't read his face from the camera angle, but I knew every line of that note by heart. Josh, Lily, and I are safe. I saw the doorbell footage. The business account is now under my control only. Your cards are deactivated. The lake house money is canceled. Do not contact me except through my attorney. This is not just about a kiss. This is about years of you and your family treating my work, my money, and our daughter like your property. I won't fund a family that lies to my child and asks her to keep your secrets. Brianna. He put both hands on his head and paced out of frame. A second later, his mom's name flashed on my screen. Incoming call. I let it go to voicemail. 5 minutes later, a text from her came through instead. Margot. Brianna, whatever you think you saw, you're blowing this way out of proportion. Lisa and Josh were talking about a surprise for you. He told us all about it. You're going to ruin his career and your brand over one little misunderstanding? Please stop being dramatic and bring Lily home. She's our family, too. Then Lisa. Lisa. Wow, so you're hacking cameras now? That's creepy. It was a joke. You know how close we are. It was nothing. Taking away the lake house money is insane. Mom and Dad already told people we were launching this summer. And finally, Josh. Josh. Bree, Babe, I messed up, I'm not gonna lie, but this is nuclear. You can't just yank everything. My parents count on that money. Lisa counts on you. You're sabotaging all of us over a kiss that meant nothing. Call me. We can fix this before brands notice and it hits our income. There it was. Not one mention of Lily. Not one apology for telling a 7-year-old to lie. Just panic about the money. About our income. Our brand. Our projects. They didn't even realize their mask had slipped. They just went straight for the one thing they truly cared about. The pipeline. I stared at their messages while my daughter snored softly beside me. I typed slowly, carefully, deliberately. To his mom, I'm not your emergency fund. I'm Lily's mother. That's my only job from now on. To Lisa, telling my child to keep your secret isn't a joke. Neither is kissing my husband on my porch. You're off my payroll. Do not contact me again. To Josh, I'm not sabotaging anything. I'm taking back what was mine. You chose what you kissed today. Choose a lawyer next. Then I turned my phone off again and finally let myself cry. Quiet, ugly, into the cheap Airbnb pillow while my daughter's hand stayed fisted in my shirt. It hurt. Of course it did. But under the hurt, for the first time in years, there was something else. A solid, steady sense of being done. The fallout came fast and loud. By morning, Cassie had texted me screenshots from our brand group chats. Josh had tried to log in to my email. Twice. He'd messaged 2 of my biggest sponsors from his personal account, introducing himself as co-owner of Brianna Lane Media and demanding to know why payments had been rerouted without his consent. Cassie beat him to it. Just wanted to clarify that all contracts are with Brianna alone, she'd written. There is no co-owner. Please disregard any communication from Joshua Lane and direct all questions to me. She added a private message to me. I've got your back. Whatever you decide, I'm in your corner. My cousin Erin, the only person from my side of the family I still talk to regularly, called. I'm at work, she whispered, but your mother-in-law is in my DMs saying you've had a mental break, that you kidnapped Lily, and that Josh is afraid for your safety. Yeah, I said, looking around the spotless, tiny house kitchen where my daughter was currently eating cereal out of a mug and watching cartoons. Very dangerous over here. There's oat milk and everything. Erin snorted. I told her to stop lying or I'd block her. She said you cut them off financially and you're ruining the family. There it was, the real crime. You know what's wild? I said. I paid for their last 3 vacations. I covered Lisa's rent for 6 months during the pandemic. I remodeled their kitchen. But the second I protect my kid, I'm the one ruining the family. Then let it be ruined, Erin said. Start a new one with people who actually deserve you. The doorbell camera kept sending me clips. His parents showing up, pounding on the door, peering through windows. Lisa breaking down, crying on the porch, talking to someone on speakerphone about how content is dead because Brianna nuked the lake house. Josh pacing the driveway, phone pressed to his ear, saying things like, "We can't lose that money, Mom. I already quit. What do you expect me to do? Get a regular job?" Every motion clip was another reminder that I'd spent 3 years funding grown adults who saw my work as theirs. They all tried different angles. His mom wrote me a 3-page email about forgiveness, scripture, how temptation is a test, and marriage is about working through storms. No mention of Lily. His dad finally texted, "You can't punish all of us because you're mad at Josh. That business money was always for the whole family. Don't be selfish." Lisa posted a vague Instagram story about jealous women destroying their own blessings and tagged my account. I blocked them all. The only message I answered was from Josh's number 2 days after we left. Josh, I told my parents there's nothing I can do about the money. Please don't file anything yet. Can we at least talk about keeping the business together? I'll move out if you want. We can tell people we're separating, but keep working as a team. Brands don't have to know. I read it 3 times. He still thought this was about the business, about optics, about what brands would think. For someone who spent every day on camera with me, he'd somehow missed the most important part of my life. The little girl who had to ask her mother why Daddy was kissing Aunt Lisa. I answered him once. The business was built on my face, my name, and my kid. You turned all three into collateral. We are not a team. You're off my accounts, off my channel, and off my budget. Any further communication goes through the lawyer I hired this morning. He tried calling. I didn't pick up. Instead, I opened my notes app and started writing an outline. Not a tell-all, not revenge content. Just a simple life update video for my followers. They didn't need the messy details. They didn't need to know who kissed who where. What they needed to understand was why my content was about to change, why they wouldn't be seeing Josh or his family anymore. Hi, I typed. If you've been here a while, you know I've always shared our family brand. But off camera, some things happened that showed me my daughter and I weren't being treated as family behind the scenes. I've made the decision to step back from sharing certain people and to set firm boundaries around my business and my finances. If you're here for cozy homes, honest motherhood, and women not being treated like wallets, you're welcome to stay. If not, thank you for your time, and I wish you well. Simple, clear, no drama, no names, just a boundary. I posted it a week later from our new rental, a small, slightly crooked townhouse across town that I could afford on my own. It had old carpet and yellowed blinds, but Lily called it our adventure house and insisted we hang fairy lights in the hallway. That first night there, we ate takeout on the floor and watched a movie on my laptop propped on a moving box. "This is like a sleepover," she giggled, dipping fries in ketchup. "It is," I said, feeling that slow exhale in my bones, "and we get to live at the sleepover." Josh never came by. Court papers and counsel made sure of that. His parents sent one last group text 2 months later. "Family dinner this Sunday. We'd like to discuss reconnecting. We're willing to move forward if you can reinstate the transfers or at least reconsider the lake house. Think of Lily. She deserves her grandparents." I stared at our half-unpacked living room. Lily's drawings were covering the fridge, our new house with just the two of us, and our cat, and a giant sun that took up half the sky. I typed one sentence back. "I won't fund a family my child isn't safe with." Then I left the group chat for good. The first time we did our special trip on purpose was 6 months later. Not because we were running, not because we were hiding, because we chose it. I booked a tiny cabin 2 hours away, on my own card, no discount code, no collaboration. Just me and Lily and a weekend with no cameras unless we felt like it. She sat in the back seat humming to herself, hugging her llama, feet kicking the front seat in rhythm. "Is this like the night we left the old house?" she asked suddenly as we turned off the highway onto a winding road. My hands tightened on the wheel for a second. "A little," I said, "except this time no one did anything bad. We're just going because we deserve to go." She thought about that. "So, it's a happy special trip?" "Yeah," I said, letting the trees swallow us in green. "It's a happy special trip." At the cabin, while she drew pictures of us in front of pine trees and taped them to the wall with washi tape, I sat on the small porch and checked my email. 2 new brand offers. One from a financial literacy app for women, one from a home security company that wanted me to talk about peace of mind. I laughed at the irony and said yes to the first and no to the second. We grilled hot dogs over a tiny fire pit. We made s'mores. That night, she fell asleep in the loft, cheeks sticky with chocolate, breathing slow and easy. I sat at the little table underneath, opened my laptop, and looked at my content calendar. No more family brand shoots with people who saw me as a paycheck. No more fake smiles around people who were counting my money instead of my kids' feelings. Just me, my daughter, my work, my boundaries. Before I closed the laptop, I opened the Doorbell app one last time. The feed was still pointed at the house I used to live in. I could have removed it weeks ago, but part of me had been watching, waiting for one more reason to justify what I'd done. The screen was dark now, the property already listed for rent. They couldn't afford it without my income. I knew that. I should have felt gloating. I didn't. Just finished. I deleted the app. The screen went back to my home page. A photo of Lily and me at the park filled the background, her hair blown across her face, both of us laughing at something the camera hadn't captured. I traced her tiny digital silhouette with my fingertip. In the end, it wasn't a dramatic confrontation that changed everything. It wasn't the cheating, the screaming, the messages, even the money. It was my daughter, standing in our hallway with glitter on her cheek, asking why someone she trusted had turned my porch into a secret. It was the way her voice trembled when she said she didn't want to be in videos with Daddy anymore. It was the moment I realized I'd built a life where everyone got paid except the one person I owed everything to. So I changed it, quietly, firmly, completely. Now, when people in my comments ask what happened to Josh, to Lisa, to the lake house and the family vacations, I give the same answer every time. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do with people who don't protect your child, I type back, is take away their access to both your kid and your wallet. Then I hit post, close the app, and turn back to the only audience that actually matters. "Mom," Lily called from the loft, her voice sleepy and small. "Can we do more special trips later?" "Yeah, baby," I said, turning off the last light. "We can do as many as you want."